So yeah, the L word is definitely back, and you would know it was back because in the first 30 seconds, someone's already having an orgasm. I love the L word. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd. And in this episode, we are going over our reaction to the L Word Generation Q episodes 1 and 2. Now this is going to be kind of an overview. I don't want to go verbatim on the actual episodes because this would be a very long video, but just kind of give you a generalization of what I think about it and what's going on with the OG characters that are in it, which is Alice, Bette, and Shane, and then some of the newer ones like Danny and Sophie and Finch. So we're going to go over those characters, but before we do, let's kind of preface. The L word was very important for people like me who are in the LGBT community. Yeah, some of it was silly, but a lot of it was kind of groundbreaking because we didn't get to see people on TV like we do now. And even still, it's an entire ensemble of LGBT characters. And we don't really have TV shows outside of things like Orange is the New Black, or they're kind of in prison, that are like that. So the L word was very important back in the day and groundbreaking for the time period. So I'm very excited that 15 years later, I believe, we have another generation of the L word. So yeah, having said that, let's jump in. So let's start with what's happening with our 3 OG L word people. So we have Bette, who is currently, I'm thinking, divorced from Tina, because in the episode, they kind of share custody with Angie or Angelica, their daughter. As a matter of fact, their daughter refers to Tina as Mama T. I don't know if she refers to Bette as Mama B or not, but it's kind of cute. So Bette and Angie have a kind of turbulent relationship, only because Bette keeps doing things that kind of embarrass her daughter. We don't know the whole story. We know that Bette is running for mayor, and she's running for mayor because she is against the opioid crisis. And we think that maybe something happened. Maybe she lost somebody to an overdose, but they're not specifying why. It seems to be a mystery so far this season, the first 2 episodes. They keep kind of stumbling around the question of, do you know why Bette's actually running? But we don't really know why. But I think somebody probably overdosed and died that was close to her. And so she's very passionate about the opioid crisis and what's going on in Los Angeles. So there's that. So she's running for mayor. But another problem is that Bette seems to not be able to stop having affairs. I don't know if she's cheated on Tina again, or if she, we know there's a woman named Felicity who, when they were both working at another department, they had a fling, but Felicity was married to a man. And so somewhere in episode 1, I think it was near the middle, she's at a press conference, promoting her campaign, and the husband starts questioning her about, how could you be running for mayor when you have no problem sleeping with my wife? Just kind of blows it out there. And of course, Angie finds out through her friend who she was skipping school with. Not a very good friend. As a matter of fact, their relationship reminds me of, and I cannot remember the girl's name. If you ever watch My So-Called Life, there's Angela, and she had the female friend that had the, interesting hairstyles that used to get her in trouble all the time. That basically, that dynamic reminds me of that, only I think Angie has a thing for her. It looks like, she's following in the mama's footsteps in terms of sexuality, and she seems to be having, either she's bisexual like Tina, or she's a lesbian like Bette, but she's definitely into her friend. So Bette is really embarrassing the daughter, so they have a very turbulent relationship, and it kind of plays out in the first and second episode. All right, so Bette running for mayor. It does allow her to meet some of the newer characters. All the new characters are tied in with the OG characters, and I'll get to them in a minute. But let's move on to Shane. So Shane, everyone's little heartthrob from the original. I'm still upset over Shane leaving Carmen at the altar. If you have not seen the first, well, technically it's happened in the 3rd season of the L Word, or any of the previous OG L Word, then why are you watching this video? So I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything, because this is a sequel to that series. But I have not gotten over Shane and Carmen. They were endgame to me, and I'm just so heartbroken. Like Molly, Paige, none of the others mattered. But I miss Carmen, and I thought Carmen was doing like a special appearance or a guest star in this role, but I don't know yet. But I do remember her saying something about on Instagram, the actress, Sarah Sahi. So we'll see. But For now, Shane just sold salons in Paris and New York. So Shane's not poor anymore. Shane is very rich. But Shane is also estranged from a wife. I think her name is Kiora. I want to say her name is Kiora. I'm going to have to look that up. But basically, so Shane comes back to LA, sells the businesses, buys a house, and getting off the plane. There was a private plane that Shane flew on to get to LA, and there's a stewardess is like, I really hope to take care of you in the future, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, they're banging on the counter at Shane's house. So it's like, Shane, she's some things may have changed. Definitely some things stay the same. So, but what's interesting about Shane is that Shane seems heartbroken, and Shane is avoiding the text messages that the wife sends to her, as well as someone's trying to bring a summons to her house, which I'm more than likely it's probably an appearance for divorce court or decree for divorce court, and she doesn't want to accept the papers. So Shane's not the therapy type, so she's very in herself. So she works out a lot. She's been drinking. She's been spending a lot of time hanging out with Bette and Alice, as well as another character that I will mention, Finley. I said Finch earlier, Finley, but I will mention that character in a minute. But yeah, Shane is not 100% the Shane that we know in the L Word. Definitely more adult, definitely has more responsibilities, but there's still that essence of I can get it on at any moment with anyone still within Shane. So, but yeah, this is a more downtrodden, kind of heartbroken like Shane. I don't know. It's good to see her more human, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, Carmen, and then there's Alice. Alice has always amused me, even in OG. She's very opinionated, very sassy, she has no filter, which is what I kind of like about her, but it kind of annoys me at the same time. But she's in a relationship with a woman who was previously married to a lady who cheated on her, and they have 2 kids. And I think the woman she was married to is the biological, she carried the babies. So Alice has been in a relationship with this woman for 2 years. They live together, and the children just want their parents back together. So they have no problem saying Alice isn't our mom, or we don't want to do this with her, and blah, 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 blah. They're very bitter about the breakup. So as kids are, they want they're their moms. They want their moms to be together. So Alice is having to basically be a third parent, the stepmom, basically, without even being married into the relationship. She has a family that she doesn't know what to do with. I don't want to say she's not parent material. She hasn't been there from the beginning. So she hasn't been there to learn all the steps of what it takes to be a mother. As a mother, I know how hard it is, to raise a child from infancy. So, it's not an easy task. Motherhood or parenthood in general is very hard. And Alice, who still basically has a talk show now and is trying to get her talk show off the ground more. I mean, it's popular, but from the way I see it, it probably only airs in LA. I don't think it's national. So she's trying to build a brand with her name, and her show is called Alice, which is a lesbian talk show. She's trying to just jump into that market, but she's also trying to be a parent and co-parent with another parent that's no longer in the relationship with her partner. So it's a mess. And then of course the partner of her partner, or the ex-wife of her partner, seems to still be implanting herself into the house and with the kids unannounced. Like she just shows up to take the kids to school, even though it's Alice's turn and things like that. And I honestly think she wants to get back with her ex. So there's a little bit of drama there. And I don't know if Alice is seeing that as a threat or what. I think Alice is so overwhelmed with this parenthood thing and trying to be a good partner that she hasn't even foresaw the ex-wife as a potential love rival yet, but I think it's coming. So yeah, very interesting. So now we're going to go into some of the new characters. Now, Danny, I want to say, let me make sure her name is right. I think it's Danny Nunes. Let me make sure that that's right, because there are a lot of new characters now. But yeah, so Danny, Nunes, if I'm saying that right. She basically works for her father. She's the director of communications at his company. She first interacts with Bette when Bette is coming to them for them to sponsor her campaign. But when she realizes that they've been doing a lot of big pharma, representation and covering for all of the overdoses and stuff in the city, Bette basically asks her, how do you sleep at night? And it kind of wakes Danny up, because she's been looking at Bette as this role model, the first ever lesbian mayor, candidate. in Los Angeles that has potential to win, who's a lesbian like her. And she's calling her out because she's basically doing things that she doesn't feel comfortable with. And, like even in their own office, there's an employee whose son overdoses on opioids. And he says, oh, it's my fault. And her father makes Danny go in and basically work him for the PR and the media so that it doesn't reflect bad on their company. And she hates it. Add on to that is that her dad doesn't accept her being a lesbian. He basically makes comments like, oh, you can have fun when you're young. She's in a very serious relationship with an employee of Alice. I think she works in the writer's room, named Sophie. I don't know how long they've been together, but I'm assuming a while because she's going to propose to her. And the father does not accept this relationship. So he's very pro-money and anti-LGBT, so very homophobic. And Danny has severe daddy issues with this man. To the point by the end of episode 1, she quits her job, but she didn't tell him yet. She basically goes and pitches herself to Bette and becomes her new PR person for her campaign, or her PR manager. And in episode 2, she goes and tells the father after he promotes her as the vice president, over, I don't know if it was over her department communications or over the company as a whole, but got a huge office and all of this. And, she's a Stanford graduate. She's very, very smart. But she tells him, I'm going to go work for Bette because I believe in this. And also I proposed to Sophie, and he just was like, you're trash. I'll have somebody show you out. Did not go to the engagement party. I mean, no. And she has a lot of problems trying to live up to this man he holds her at the standard that she'll never be able to meet. She's never going to turn straight, and she's never going to be who he needs her to be, and she can't see it yet. So it's causing some problems with her and Sophie. Sophie, on the other hand, is she's very energetic, outgoing, speaks her mind. She's pretty much like a baby Alice, which I think is funny. All of them seem to be younger representations of a lot of the characters, where Danny is more like Bette, Sophie is more like Alice. And I think that's absolutely the best way to describe Sophie. She comes from a broken family in a way. She has her mother and her sisters, but her father abandoned them, so she doesn't know what a real marriage is like. So she's always constantly worried she's going to mess it up. And she doesn't know, expectation-wise, what a marriage should be like. She gets so upset that Daddy takes a job with Bette without talking to her. But, at the same, which is it is a valid point, but at the same time, it was to the point where she was kind of ghosting her, even at the engagement party, and that's not a good way of communication in a marriage. So she doesn't know how to be married. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. But to me, they are the Bette and Tina of the L Word, Generation Q. So Danny and Sophie. Then we have Finley, Sarah Finley. She is the Shane of this generation, only not as suave. So whereas Shane can walk into any room and get any woman to follow her home, Finley cannot do that. Finley is like the stereotypical baby soft butch that is good with tools, but not good with her mouth. She will say anything, and it will usually get her stares, and women will walk away very quickly. So, very attractive. I know the actress. She actually played in Grimm and Easy A. She actually has naturally dark hair, but she has blonde hair for this. Which is kind of funny, but her whole personality is just like surfer girl, just wants to have fun, has a little bit of responsibility, but there's something down deep that she's hiding. And when I read her profile a while ago, before the show even started, it said she came from a very religious background. And I think her name is Sarah Finley. She goes by Finley. And that she desperately does not like organized religion. So I'm thinking when she came out to her family, they probably disowned her. She did mention that she got thrown out of her house. So I think she has a lot of problems with that. And the new girl that she meets at the bar that gave her a chance in the preview for episode 3 is going to church. She goes to church. And I think that's going to be a big sense of contention between them because of the reaction to Finley's family when they found out she was gay. And now the girl she likes a lot goes to church. Which is good. It's a good way to incorporate church too, because a lot of LGBT shows don't do that. So I know organized religion traditionally with LGBT hasn't had a good run, I guess, in the sense, especially with TV shows and what families do. But there are a lot of churches that are very accepting too. So it's good to see that balance. But yeah, so Finley is Shane. Finley goes over to Shane's house per Alice's request because Shane has nothing in this house, and basically starts setting up furniture for Shane. And Shane makes a mistake of saying, hey, because Finley says she lives in a 1-bedroom, with 3 or 4 other girls in Koreatown. Shane's like, hey, you can crash here sometimes. Well, once you make that, declaration to Finley, you're pretty much set in stone. So yeah, Finley pretty much moves in that day. And Shane's like, she's trying to be like, I thought, there's been a bit of a miscommunication, but she doesn't really get that out before there's a knock at the door. And of course, the guy's trying to summons her with the divorce decree. But yeah, so Finley's now staying at Shane's place, which is huge, and dating a girl who is, I think, adorable, but definitely religious. And I think that's going to cause some problems. So yeah, they have another character who is trans male, and basically, I think is an adjunct, I want to say professor at a school, because I think in the opening, Micah Lee is the character's name, but I think he was on the phone with a student talking about a grade when Finley comes rushing in and talking about a new guy moving in, who Micah actually starts having a crush on. It's Jose, I think his name is. Let me make sure. Yes, Jose. He is the new property manager. And they kind of hit it off, which is pretty good. I feel like that is going to be a very interesting dynamic because we haven't had that before. Because traditionally in the L Word, we had one character. I'm not even going to go into all that. Jen's previous partner who is trans, and the way they treated that storyline was not very good. So I'm glad that we're getting more trans representation. Not to mention, I know for a fact, having watched some of the interviews for this, there are going to be a lot of characters that are trans that are not going to be playing trans. They're going to be playing girls and boys, or men and women in the show of all ages, and we will never know they're trans, which I think is awesome. Because it goes to show you never know. It doesn't matter. Love is love. Who you are is who you are. So I love that about the show. But yeah. So Micah Lee is adorable, and the whole interaction with Jose is adorable so far. I mean, yeah, they kind of got it on in the pool a little bit. They've gone out to eat. They have had coffee. Micah broke a window with a chair when he was helping Jose move his stuff in. But yeah. Very, very cute. So I do think that there's going to be a lot more going on with that, because it's starting off very smoothly and positively. We know that Jose was in a previous relationship with a guy and he broke up. And that's why he took this job. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but it seems like it's going in the right direction and I like it. So yeah, so that is cool. But yeah, the only other things that happened in the first 2 episodes is Shane went to a bar that used to be a lesbian bar that's now pretty much just a sports bar where everyone just goes. And there's apparently no other lesbian bars in LA anymore, which I think is true, in real life. And the owner and her girlfriend are kind of running it. Well, not owner, the bartender and the girlfriend are kind of running the bar. And Shane basically mentions when they're talking about how they want to save money and buy it and turn it back into a lesbian bar, that, yeah, somebody should buy it, which, of course, we know Shane's going to buy this bar. We know it, because Shane has no direction now. Shane has sold all of her businesses. She has nothing to do in Los Angeles. So she's going to be the owner of this lesbian bar. So she's going to be partnering with these 2 girls. And then I think her wife is Kiora. I want to say it's Kiora. She's going to come to LA. And I think a lot of drama is going to ensue, revolving around her opening that bar or revamping that bar. So yeah, that is pretty much what I liked and what I recapped on these episodes. I mean, yeah, they had the engagement party. We had a really nice proposal that Danny does with for Sophie, and it's really cool. It was the funniest part of that scene was that the ring didn't fit, and I don't know if that was a forebodings thing, because I'm really worried, because Bette has a way of just like seducing all of her coworkers. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen with Bette and Danny, because essentially they almost are like the same person. Yeah, I'm really worried about that, actually, because I like Danny with Sophie, so I'm kind of worried that's going to be something that happens, and it's drama, and it could happen. But for now, yeah, I love where the series is going. I love that Bette refers to herself as biracial, because I'm biracial. Most people think I'm Hispanic, but I'm half Scottish and Native American and Black. And I love that she says that because not many shows, and I'm calling out the bold type because they really messed up the biracial conversation as far as I'm concerned. I'm still heated about it. But the fact that she actually was able to refer to herself as biracial and not just picking a side, I love that. Because not all of us look a certain way. I mean, when people normally come up to me, they normally think I'm either Filipino or Hispanic or something in that. I've even had Pacific Islander. But yeah, my dad is black from America. My mother was Scottish from the UK. I know I have a grandfather who's Apache. I did that 23andMe thing. I know we got a long list of like stuff on there, but I mean, I had Asian and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I'm biracial, multiracial, whatever you want to call me. So that in itself has always been a huge identity issue for me because I don't feel like I look or fit anywhere in my own like nationalities. So I love that she said that. I love that she said that because you don't see that, a lot in media. So it's normally like pick a side. So yeah. So I love the L word that they're basically all around doing representation. It's not just picking and choosing like some shows do. So yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to episode 3. I'll probably do an episode 3 review, like a standard review like I do my other reviews. But I just wanted to kind of get this one done because I watched the 2 episodes like back to back and I thought they were really cool. And I did a Showtime trial to do it. So yeah, I like it. I think you guys should check it out if you haven't. But hey, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button.
And if you'd like to know who's next on the ballot, hit the notification bell.
Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
And if you have time, don't forget to check out some of these other videos.